Let's discuss something very interesting when it comes to this heliocentric hypothesis. Now, they say that the Earth is tilted 23.4 degrees on its axis and it moves in an orbit around the Sun. And if you look up and you do a long exposure photograph of the stars, you get star trails. And at nighttime, when you look out in the stars, you get to see a slice of the stars based on the direction that you're facing at nighttime according to this model. So if you see here, that's nighttime, so they're looking that way. So here they're looking that way. Here they're looking that way. So now there's something called precession. So every year there is a tiny bit of precession that's about 20 minutes. And that 20 minutes accumulates over time. So after 72 years, there is a 1 degree precession. Now, what that means is that you're seeing the same background nighttime sky, but you're seeing it 1 degree off from where it was 72 years prior based on the position of the sun. In over 25,920 years, which is a great year, the sun will go through a whole 360 degrees at the vernal equinox through the whole entire zodiac. But here's the thing. And let's say here, you're looking at nighttime and it's winter. It says winter, and in winter, you're seeing a certain stars. Now, for you to be seeing different stars in the heliocentric model, you need to be in a different location in the orbit around the sun. So after 720 years, there's this 10 degrees of separation, but after 7,200 years, there's 100 degrees of separation. And 100 degrees is like 28 to 30% of an entire year, which means you will be off by an entire season. Which means summer won't be summer anymore. Winter won't be winter anymore. It'll be one season over. So the seasons would be drifting. But wait, they have an ad hoc patch for that. What is their ad hoc patch? They say the Earth wobbles. And now that wobble, they say it wobbles like a top. So you see how the axis is pointing that way? They say that as your position in the orbit shifts, the Earth wobbles at a rate that is exactly consistent with the precession, to the point where even though you're in a different point in the orbit, which would naturally change the season in their model, it doesn't change the season. Why? Because the Earth is wobbling like a top. Now, these are two different mechanisms. They need two different causes. They're not linked with each other. One has nothing to do with the other. They're independent of each other. Now, the problem with that is that they want us to believe that somehow, magically, just so happens, random chance, that the drift of the stars throughout the precession, throughout the great year, drifts, and the Earth wobbles at the exact rate to keep the seasons exactly where they are. Therefore, we don't get a seasonal drift. Now, the problem with that is that there's a much simpler explanation. The much simpler explanation is that hold on, I have to get something for my daughter. Now, on a flat Earth, and this is just an artistic rendering about the path of the sun on the flat Earth. And this is the apparent sun that we see. But on the flat Earth, it's much simpler and it doesn't require some massive magical coincidence. What happens is the sun is turning and the stars are turning, but they're turning at a slightly different speed from each other. Therefore, the sun every year goes through the full zodiac. But at the end of the year, it falls short of lapping the stars by 20 minutes. So at the end of 1 year, it seems like the sun's 20 minutes behind, but it takes 20 minutes for the sun to close the gap on the stars. But that 20 minutes accumulates. And after 72 years, that 20 minutes equals a full degree of separation between the position of the sun and the position of the stars. So now, on the vernal equinox, the sun has shifted 1 degree every 72 years against the background stars. So because they're both turning at a slightly different rate, 3 minutes and 56 seconds per day, that is what causes this drift. And after 25,920 years, which is 72 years multiplied by 360 degrees, now the sun is back to its starting position in relation to the stars. So all it is, it's just that they're both turning above our heads and there's a slightly different speed, and that's what causes the precession. And that's why the seasons don't change, because the sun has its own path. The backdrop of the stars doesn't change the seasons. Just basically the position of the sun in the zodiac can tell us at what point of the great year that we're in, what season we're in, if we're at the age of Aquarius, if we're at the age of Leo or whatever, in the full great year cycle. But this is simple, makes sense, and doesn't require you having to believe that somehow the earth is wobbling at this exact rate to where the background stars are shifting because we're at a different point in our orbit, but because the earth is wobbling at that exact pace to keep us so the summer solstice is always the summer solstice. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous what the heliocentric model has these people believing. And the problem is that these people, they don't understand that they've been lied to, so they're not even thinking about it. And they literally think that people that are into the flat earth are crazy conspiracy theorists, which is even funnier because that's what they've been programmed to think. That flat earth is just a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's the truth. And that's why the people who have lied to you have also programmed you to think that the truth is a conspiracy. Obviously, they're gonna preemptively protect themselves against people figuring out their lies. They're not going to just be like, oh, well, you got me. These are the people with all the power and all the money, according to standard society. But if you understand what's really going on, you know that you're the one with all the power. You have the power. You have the power to not let that get to you. You have the power to not let their negativity bring you down. And you have the power to control your happiness and control who you are and what you let affect you. So at the end of the day, and now I just saw this battle on TikTok, and the Globers saying the distance between the United States is this, and then if you go to the southern side, actually let me get the map. I only have a minute left, but he's saying the distance between here and here is 3,000 miles or whatever he said it is, and then the distance between here and here is how is this much wider than this? But he didn't look at the key at the bottom of the map, and the key on the map literally says 1 degree is 60 nautical miles, and it says 60 nautical miles is 69 degrees. And what that means is the distance between here and here is the same as the distance between here and here. In this slice of the pie, the distance between lines of longitude is the same, no matter where you are on the map. So you can't be like, well, down here it's only this big, and they're saying that down here it's this big, and it takes the same amount of time to fly those two distances. Obviously, because they're the same distance. So you're just promoting a straw man model. You're battling against a model that isn't even the model. It's a complete misunderstanding. So if you're going to debate, you at least know what you're talking about. Anyways, this is the Dusty Truth signing out. Peace.